Hey guys, Hop here for TFBTV at SHOT Show 2025. We are over at the Primary Arms booth talking to Steven about their new pistol optic, the HTX. This is a first for you guys in a lot of ways. We're hoping you could tell us all about it.
Yeah, sure thing. We're super excited to bring it as part of our Discovery 2025 release, which is anytime you hear Discovery and Primary Arms Optics, it's always all our new stuff. Super big for us this year is the new HTX-1. So kind of what its namesake implies, it's built by us here in Houston, Texas. Well, not here, we're in Vegas, but Houston, Texas. It is a American-made dot. So it's not assembled in the U.S. from foreign components. It's not parts kits that we're bringing in and putting together. It's actually American-made. The housing, the glass, the boards, everything in it. There is part of one component that's not. So a little known fact, LEDs are not made of glass, they're not made of plastic. You actually have to grow a crystal for LEDs. There's 2 places in the world that do that, and neither one of them are in the US. So we grow the crystal for our LEDs in Germany, then we bring them over to the States and we pot and solder and kind of build them into the emitter die that we need them to be to make this product work. That's one of the cool, unique features about it. It is one of the most US-made pistol dots on the market, especially in the enclosed space. It also uses a new modular chassis system. So traditionally you would pick a dot and then you would have to get a gun that you could kind of conform to that dot, or you would cut your slide for the dot that you wanted and now you're dedicated to that footprint forever. We actually adapt our dot to your gun. So if you're a Glock shooter today, but maybe next week you change and you start shooting a Smith or a SIG or a Walther or whatever it is, we have that modular chassis system that adapts the dot to whatever gun you're putting it on. By doing that as well, we can drop the profile of the optic itself. So on a standard Glock MOS, let's say the bottom of the window actually sits flush with the top of the slide. So you can get a full co-witness with stock height sights through the glass. It's not just a sliver of the front sight blade, it's not part of the notch. So if you went out and you bought, tritium sight set for your gun, you can't use it with a traditional dot because you can't see those tritium vials. With ours, you get a complete sight picture. It also comes with our Vulcan reticle, which for those that don't know what the Vulcan is, it's a 240 MOA outer circle. It's designed to fall outside of the field of view if you present the gun correctly. If you don't, so you get a bad grip coming out of the holster, you're shooting with your support hand or around a barricade in some kind of screwy shooting situation, then in a traditional dot, you would lose that dot in the window and you have to sit there and fish for it to figure out where it went. With this one, you can see that outer circle if it's not aligned properly, so you know which way to drive the gun to get it back to center. So
yeah, when you're aligned and you're at pistol extension, the ring is completely outside of your field of view, and all you see is the center portion of the reticle.
Yep, you don't see it at all. It looks like any other dot you would shoot. Now, for me personally, I've been running this thing for about a year, kind of playing with it, and we've been testing out the kinks. We've been developing on this thing for 3 years now. And if I'm out at the range, flat range, shooting plate racks or dueling trees or whatever, I usually turn that circle off because I don't need it. But my carry guns, when I do a lot of the Gov Mill LE demo stuff. Whenever it's in a duty rig, that ring's always on because I need that first round on target to be as fast as possible. And split times aren't really a concern for me at that point. But yeah, running regular flat range, I turn that circle off, which is super easy to do. You push and hold the plus button on the side, the ring shuts off, and then you can run it just like you would any other dot.
You guys are also making a version of this with just a standard dot, like for the people who don't want to do the ring at all?
Yeah, we're doing just a standard 4 MOA dot version. It's actually a 3.82 MOA dot, but for all intents and purposes, it's 4, yeah. Somebody who can tell the difference between a 4 MOA dot and a 2 MOA dot is a pretty unique individual. But yeah, it's been super successful. We knew it would be popular. We had no idea we'd get this kind of response off of it. And it is exciting to finally be able to bring it to market. We're really proud of it. And we're happy to be able to present it to the world now.
So you guys have a kind of a novel plate system, because usually, a red dot will bolt down into the plate and the plate bolts down into the slide, or if you have it direct milled, you can bolt directly into the slide. You guys are not attaching the dot down, attaching the plate sideways, I guess?
Yeah, so part of that chassis system is, it's not that traditional just screws through the dot into the slide kind of setup. So we're actually running a screw into each side and then 2 screws through the front. Then that in combination with kind of the 3D profile of that slide, we've got recoil and impact mitigation surfaces on all axes. So, for duty use, if this thing's sitting in a holster, you're rolling around on the ground with somebody and you're impacting this thing from the side, we see a lot of dot hardware shear because it's not made to take that force from the side.
Right.
Usually the recoil mitigation's fore and aft instead of side to side. But the way this is set up is it doesn't put any shock into the mounting hardware itself. So that's under recoil, on impacts, anything like that. It goes from the body of the optic into the chassis, into the slide, and we're protecting that hardware so it doesn't shear. Screws are made for tensile strength, not shear strength. So we don't want to put that shear pressure on it. That's what causes them to snap, and that's when you catch, your red dot in the face when you're out of the range. Nobody likes that. It's not a fun experience. And with this, you don't have to worry about that because we're not putting that excessive force onto the hardware. When you put those screws into it, kind of sucks the dot into the chassis itself, so it aligns everything. Which you're never really going to take it off and put it on. It's got a side-mounted CR2032 battery, so when you're changing the battery, you're not removing the dot anyway. We're getting really decent battery life out of it as well. So the dot variation, or with the ring turned off on the ACSS variation, we're getting about 15,000 hours, which is a year and a half of constant on time at a kind of high medium setting. Once you turn the ring on and you crank the power all the way up, you're definitely going to burn some more juice with that. But real world, like I said, I've been carrying this around for about a year and a half. I'm changing batteries every 3 to 4 months. I haven't had a set of batteries die on me yet, but like rough calculations in my head, I'm figuring, all right, I'm getting close to the end of life on this thing. But it does have auto live built into it as well. So once we turn it on, I never turn them back off again. And that auto live is a 2-stage in this. So once the gun stays still for 15 seconds, it figures you're on target. So you have the dot, you don't need the ring, it'll shut the ring down. Once it sits still for 3 minutes, the whole thing goes to sleep. And then as soon as the gun moves, whether I change targets, shift to follow my target, or under recoil, or if I pick the gun up, it's been sitting on my nightstand, everything comes back on and it's ready to use.
Fantastic. Do you have a price point and availability when these two versions are shipping?
Yeah, so the price point on the ACSS version with the Vulcan reticle, we're looking at an MSRP of $749. For the dot-only version, the MSRP is $699. Street price is going to be a little bit lower than that. And we're going to start shipping the first commercial units out to customers right around April timeframe in limited quantities. With the response that we've gotten off of this thing with both the general consumers that are out there, as well as a bunch of federal and DoD agencies, this is going to be a allocation product for sure. So anybody who's thinking about getting one, get in line and hurry up because they're going quick.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for walking us through this thing.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Stay tuned to TFBTV and TFBTV Showtime for more from SHOT Show 2025.